25.
To one of the great cities of the world, London, England.
Brandon Gordon, Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts, and a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows, and you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And not much happening on the 23. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all Lebanon defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. They'll look to throw down on the crossing route. Complete. It's Ortiz. Get in for a Dolphins touchdown from 21 yards away. And the Dolphins put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it all the way to the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Out is the kickoff unit is going away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a poor one, especially given the new rules. They're going to be backed up deep to start this drive. So here they're backed up to get this drive started. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
You want to talk about a driven player, partner. This guy is absolutely that person. He doesn't just have goals in this game. He wants to be remembered among the best to play the position, and he treats every game as an audition for that. It's a lofty goal to set for yourself, but we've seen his drive lead to some impressive games from him. Perhaps another one is in store today.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Off play action. Hahn. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage. Got right into his route. and the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Up the middle they go. It's French. He'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member shaken up. Boy, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. We'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment. From the gun on 3rd down. Hahn, he's got his target. That's complete. And he will have his 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's French. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense. Look at the big fella go. And all the way down to the 5. A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards. And normally when you think about huge field-flipping plays like this, it's that shifty slot receiver or that burner on the outside. Not here. That's a tight end doing work down the field. Where's the oxygen mask? He's going to need it after that one. A big, big play. They'll run with Allen. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Operating from the gun. Hahn. Tapped it at the goal line. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead. Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Looking to throw. Curtis firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Now a give right side. Diggs, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Curtis. And that's incomplete. So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot. So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for? What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
And the reception made over the middle. This is Bolden. Well, that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Back to throw. Hahn. That gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Looking to throw. Hahn. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Out now comes standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. That'll be a 47-yard punt officially, 5 on the return. And it'll ball. Orlando takes back over on offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Curtis. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Off the play fake. Curtis. And that is incomplete.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. On the return, it's White. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. Over the football with a 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Back to throw. Hahn. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, That threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long. I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And out will come the offense as they take over. It's returning to the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Orlando with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. 2nd down and 6 now. As they've got it as we resume action. Off play action. Curtis. Got a man and he hits him in stride. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. London about set to take over on offense. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down. Hahn working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick-6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick-6.
Now the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
This taken in at the goal line. And the kick team down there quickly. They don't have to run as far as they used to, and they're able to stop him before he can even make it to the 15. London about set to take over on offense.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first, and it'll bring up third down now. Looking to throw. Hahn. Man, that's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Stevenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Back to throw again. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down. They run with Turbin.
And he'll get it inside the 35.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
To the sideline and incomplete.
As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Right side and incomplete.
The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So the third drives the charm. They are on the board, albeit with just a field goal.
Yeah, 3 points from 3 drives. That's not going to win you a whole lot of football games. Hopefully the fact they were able to move the ball a little bit can wake up their offense.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And he will take this one back all the way inside the 35.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in a position to score points with that big-time return.
Set to go to work on offense.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 7.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
On 3rd down, here's Strong.
And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27, no first down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. They'll try and run for it.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on fourth down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've shaken up on the play.
Well, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. We'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Touchdown! A 5-yard touchdown as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after here coming up. And it's 21-3. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it winds up in 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And the good kick pays off as he's only able to get this out past the yard line.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's French. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Going up top. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
But whatever they called on defense, they made sure they were ready for the pass on that snap, made the proper adjustments, and helped force an incompletion.
And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Curtis. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Straight ahead is Strong. And he'll have down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. White now to return.
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
About set for this next drive.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Back to throw. Hahn. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Out now comes as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This will be fielded at the 17. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
And he will go down. In the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go.
Looking to throw. Curtis. And that will be incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. They'll look to set up his blockers. A punt of 46, a return of 5.
And it will be 1st and 10 as the Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here.
Throwing to start the drive. Hahn can't get away, and he's taken down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Back to throw. Hahn over the middle, and there's a diving catch. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
And by his big tight end.
The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there.
He's out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. Each team now with just one more game after this one, and then we will get it all started as we normally do on the first Thursday after Labor Day.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. And he returns this to the 22. The time to get another look at the defense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. About set for this next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
And that is incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs on getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And we'll see what he can do on the return.
A very nice punt that time, but they on the return.
And it'll be Dolphin football. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Throwing to start the drive. Sheldon. His pressure gets there this time for the sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. Sheldon. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down. Sheldon throwing middle, and it's complete. So no gain on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
London about set to take over on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Baker.
Oh, he makes the catch off the tip by the safety.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Allen.
And he'll get this to the 32.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Baker.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
A quick throw, but incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They'll look to throw again. And a hook up over the middle to Pryor. Dances by him. And he's got another as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 43. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
Boy, left that first defender grasping at air as he winds up getting a full 8 yards on that play.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 2.
Now a carry for Allen. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And that's about the easiest decline call you'll ever have right there.
Well, it leads me to one of my pet peeves, and maybe peeves is too strong of a word, but if you're going to jump off sides, finish the play. Make sure the play ends. Don't jump off sides and stop because you see the net result here. If you go ahead and finish the play, you don't give up that type of yardage.
And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Here's Allen. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They stay on the ground with Allen. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
They'll run here with Turbin. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. They run the draw with Turbin. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
Operating from the gun, Baker. And he is into the end zone. Down from 13 yards out.
And to make some inroads here to that deficit.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And it makes the score 21-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 50 line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Now a handoff up the middle. Diggs. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Sheldon throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Send out the punter now as he's on to kick it away. This is fielded at the 27. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. Heading back out and ready to go again.
The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
They keep it on the ground. Allen again. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Baker. That is caught. And he will have first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3. Just get the ball right to the receiver.
Is the hitch route. And tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step, like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Baker. And that nearly intercepted. But it's incomplete. Now, remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Out now comes as he's on here to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Sheldon. This is caught by Tucker. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more preseason football. Welcome back now here in London. It's all to begin quarter number 4. They'll run on first down. Diggs. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From the gun on 3rd down, Sheldon. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
On first down, Mabry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights and add on to their lead. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Now it heads back onto the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Baker. There this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And his throw is incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores,
And they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Able to slither by, and I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. Football in great field position. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on third down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Back to throw now on first down.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
And his lead good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems...
Possession of the football going back to the Cowboys. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Unable to convert on 4th down. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. They'll run on first down. Diggs. Nifty move. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 82 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run, and that's a nice job there getting the safeties involved in run support.
And it's caught. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for down. A 1-yard touchdown reception as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
The point after is good, and the lead is now 24. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This to the back of the landing zone. He'll return it from the 1 and makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. London about set to take over on offense. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
2nd and 2. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Operating from the gun, Baker.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 43. Operating from the gun, Baker. Wide open receiver, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
2nd and 4. This is caught. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Now this likely a must-have. 3rd and goal.
Back to throw. Baker.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
But when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And right there, goal line stand. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And out comes.
Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
They'll keep it on the ground. Diggs. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Up the middle they go. Diggs. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach only stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So that's a wrap for This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.